Everything's bigger in Texas and getting bigger, including its political influence. The state will gain 2 seats in Congress as a result of the 2020 census. That will bring its total seats in the House to 38. That's second only to California's 53 seats. Voter suppression is also getting bigger in Texas. According to a voting rights activist, disenfranchisement efforts in Texas are among the most overt in the nation. Among other things, the state has closed polling places at an alarming rate over the last 8 years. Republican lawmakers in the state push the narrative that these measures are in place to reduce voter fraud and uphold the integrity of the election. We've heard that before. Texas Governor Greg Abbott had this to say about voter fraud back in March.
There have been some local elections, the outcome of which was altered by election fraud that took place. Right now, I don't know how many or if any elections in the state of Texas in 2020 were altered because of voter fraud.
So he doesn't know. So essentially, Governor Abbott is signing a bill to reduce voter fraud despite there being no evidence of actual voter fraud in the state of Texas. While it's becoming increasingly difficult to vote in Texas, the governor is about to sign a bill making getting and carrying guns a lot easier in that state. Governor Abbott is expected to sign a bill into law allowing anyone 21 or older in Texas to legally possess a firearm and carry it in public with no permit. The law would also eliminate the requirement of gun safety training and gun proficiency exams. Republican supporters of the bill argue that removing the licensing requirement removes artificial barriers to Texas's right to bear arms. Joining me to discuss voter suppression and the new Texas gun laws is former Congressman Beto O'Rourke. Congressman, what is going on in Texas?
You know, Charles, it's not as though we don't have real problems that we would love for our governor and our state legislature to focus on. We know that at least 200 people died, for example, in February when we had one of the worst winter storms in Texas history. And Texas, the energy capital of North America, was unable to keep the lights on or the power running or the water flowing in people's homes. And folks literally froze to death in their beds in this state. We'd love for the governor and the state legislature to focus on weatherizing the grid and connecting us to the rest of the electricity grid in North America so we don't have this problem again. We are the least insured state in the United States of America. That means people die of diabetes and the flu and curable cancers, when if we just expanded Medicaid or even moved beyond that, we could save so many more lives. And this is a state where the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, which means that you are working 2 or 3 jobs if you're paid the minimum wage just to get by. So we don't have a problem with not enough guns on the streets, that's for sure. We don't have a problem with election fraud. As you just showed, the governor could not even cite an example of election fraud. You're more likely to be struck by lightning in Texas than to encounter election fraud. But a state that is already the hardest in which to register and in which to vote, if this new voter suppression bill, SB 7, passes, it will become even tougher. But it will be focused not on everyone, but on Black Texans, brown Texans, Texans with disabilities, the young, and those who live in big cities.
So Jim Clyburn has called the law, at least the one in Georgia, the new Jim Crow. What do you call this? I don't know how to divorce race from these bills.
You know, if the Voting Rights Act of 1965 ushered in at least the beginning of a multiracial democracy in America, then these 361 voter suppression bills spread across 47 state legislatures are an attempt to return us to the days before the Voting Rights Act of 1965. In other words, as you correctly suggest, to make it much harder for Black Americans to vote. When you look at, you mentioned the 750 polling place closures in the state of Texas, that's more than twice the number in the closest state. And in this fast-growing state, those polling place closures were concentrated in Black and Latino neighborhoods. So when you see at Texas Southern University a line last March stretching 6 hours long in order to vote, that didn't just happen by chance. And it's not just because folks are more excited to vote at TSU than in other parts of Harris County. It's because that's where polling locations were closed to try to dissuade people, especially those of color, from participating in our elections. So you're spot on. That's exactly what's happening right now. And that's why we need federal intervention the same way we did in 1965. And the version of that bill today is the For the People Act, which has passed the House of Representatives and is pending in the United States Senate, where it's numbered Senate Bill 1. And if we can reform the rules of the filibuster, allow this to pass by majority, we will protect voting rights, roll back voter suppression, and make it a hell of a lot easier for our fellow Americans, Republican, Democrat alike, to participate in our elections and in our democracy.
You have outlined where the governor is going wrong in Texas. Do you plan on running to replace him?
It's something I'm going to think about. Right now, I'm focused on this because we have only a few days left to try to stop Senate Bill 7. That's our voter suppression bill. And should that pass and be signed into law, then all of our effort must be trained on the United States Senate and on the White House and ensuring that President Biden makes protecting voters and a Voting Rights Act for the 21st century his number one priority. So I'm going to focus on the most important things in front of me, and then in whatever way, in whatever role, in whatever capacity I can serve the people of Texas, I'm up for the challenge.
Beto O'Rourke, whenever you decide what you're going to do, either way, I hope you come back and explain to our viewers how you made that decision. I really appreciate you coming on tonight.